Okay, despite the loss, I am seeing a little bit more faith from the Eagles fans this week. It's what we need. It's what we need. We need to embrace each other and this team during these hard times. Because we cannot let sports radio in our head. We can't let these sports writers in our head. We know the potential of this team as the postseason approaches. We know the potential we have as a fan base and the power we can bring when we unite, and we have nothing but faith and belief in our squad. I know we've lost 3 straight and it does not feel good. However, I want you to look at the celebrations of those other teams when they beat us. I want you to look at the celebration for the Dallas Cowboys. Look at the celebration for the Chicago Bears. Look at the celebration from the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh called the victory, he compared it to the birth of his kids and his marriage. Now, why are these teams freaking out like this? Chicago Bears head coach ripping his shirt off. Ben Johnson ripping his shirt off. Why are they freaking out to this extent and acting like this is their Super Bowl? It's because we're that good. And these teams know it. They study us. They know we're that good. It's a measuring stick for where they are. So we need to understand that and believe in our team and know how good we are, just like these other teams know. These other teams fear us, man. They fear us. That's why they rip the shirt off. That's why they say, this was as good as my marriage. This was as good as when I had my kid. That's how good we are. Let's get to the Chargers, who I believe we're going to end up seeing in the Super Bowl. I put out that prediction yesterday, and some people fuck with it, some people don't. I was really impressed with that squad, more so than any squad I've watched in the AFC. I was more impressed with them than the Patriots. I've been more impressed with them than the Bills or a struggling team like the Ravens. Even the Broncos. The Broncos are, hats off to the Broncos. They're playing great this year, but we played them. And I think the Chargers look better than them, especially when you consider the fact that Herbert wasn't in full health. That defense was fucking spectacular. And Herbert, I underestimate him, man. I got to give him his props because I always underestimate him all these years. Every time I tune in to watch him, I don't see what other people see. I know he could throw the ball a little downfield though, which is why I'm saying when he's in full health and he could sling that ball and you have that offense moving the way it is, combined with that defense, man, I don't know who in the AFC can beat that team. So my apologies to Herbert because I've been underestimating him all these years, and he was elusive in that pocket, man. He was taking hits, he was scrambling. To play that way with coming off of hand surgery, is more, we're clapping this episode. It's the clapper episode. But I was going to give it who's the Cowboys' previous head coach? Garrett? The fuck is his name? Something Garrett. I don't know, the clapper. Probably going to cut this out. But give it up to him. He looked really good. Better than even though he wasn't throwing the ball well, better than I expected him to be. And so you put that along with a healthy hand, and he's really good. He's a very good football player. So my apologies to him. When I'm wrong, I say it. But that was the first time I looked at Herbert, and I was like, man, he's really fucking good. And when he's healed, he's gonna be hard to beat. So that's why I think we're gonna end up playing in the Super Bowl. We're gonna end up seeing this Chargers team, and we know what we need to improve on in order to beat this team. We're gonna have to work really fucking hard to get our shit together because they ain't playing. They are not playing. I feel like they want it. Now, let's take a look at where we messed up and what we need to fix for next week. In last week's episode, the biggest thing I said our offense needed to fix was our third down conversions. We were converting about 34%, and in the Chargers game, we were only completing 31% of our third downs. So we had an even worse game than our average. So I mean, that's killing us, guys. We have to fix our third down conversions. This is where we need to focus. This is really where our offense is fucking up. If we could fix our third downs, our offense is going to be looking a lot better. But this should be our main area of focus. Our third down conversions. We're ranking in the bottom of the league. That is what we need to focus on. We have a good offense if we can convert our third downs. A big problem I see is when we get into these third and long situations, our receivers are just running short routes. You could look at A.J. Brown on that 3rd and 15 in the third quarter. He breaks like 5 or 6 yards in on that slant, and there's no way you're going to complete a 3rd and 15 when your receiver's breaking that quickly. It's just not possible. Same thing with DeVonta Smith. He had 2 or 3 plays where on the third down he's catching the ball way before the third down marker. And now we have receivers who can go up and make big contested catches. Both DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown can go up and get the ball. We need to be chucking the ball a little bit on those third downs, third and longs. If we get in this situation, we got to put it up a little bit. We got to take some chances because what we're doing is not working. Also, a major thing killing us, which I have confidence we will fix, but Jake Elliott is quietly killing us. He missed that 48-yarder to end the half, and man, he's hitting 76% of his field goals this year, which is ranking like way bottom in the league. It's like he's statistically one of the worst kickers in the NFL this year. Statistically. We know what he's capable of. We know his history, and we know sometimes he can have some bad streaks. But we also know he's clutch in the postseason. We know he's clutch in the big games and the big moments. So I'm confident he will turn this around, but he's been killing us, man. He has not been good, and it's easy to overlook a little 3 points here, 3 points there, but that's killer, man. That missed field goal at the end of the half, that was killer. Especially when you compare him to like a guy like Dickerson, and he's just over there, just automatic. That confidence that gives your team. I mean, Jake, please, my friend, my brother, you've won us 2 Super Bowls. We'll forget this regular season. Just give us a postseason like last year, my friend. You were money last year in the postseason. Just do it again this year, please. We need you to turn it around. It's quietly killing us, quietly. Another thing I'm confident of is that Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown will not look like that again this season. That was one of the worst games I've seen both of them have in a while. You know, Hurts was looking a little bit like rookie Hurts. A.J. Brown was getting hit with some. Hurts was looking like rookie Hurts, and then hitting A.J. Brown with some dimes every once in a while. And then A.J. Brown had like 2, 3, 4 passes where I was just like, man, A.J., you should have had that. And that never happens. I can't remember a time where AJ's getting hit with the ball, and I'm just like, man, AJ, you should have had that. Like, that just, like, drops like that are very uncharacteristic. So I'm confident that's not going to persist, but in that game, man, that was one of the worst games I've seen both of them have. But, I mean, credit to that defense as well. That defense was all over the fucking place. Phenomenal. One thing that I'm still baffled by, we had 31 first downs to the Chargers 21, but they still somehow ran 5 more plays than us. You know, we kept their passing to a little over 100 yards. Our passing defense was good, but they ran all over us, over 160 yards rushing. And it was the first game this season where we held a team to under 350 yards, and they still won the game. So I think they had their final was like 276 or 270 something, around that range, and they still won. That's the first time this season. Every time we've lost this season, a team has had over 350 yards. So That was the first time this season that's happened. This was our worst game in the red zone. Not completing any of our red zone trips. We were 0 for 2. We came in the league with the #1 red zone offense. So that's something to take note of. Obviously, Devontae Smith wasn't used nearly enough. We didn't use our backup running backs, I don't think, at all in this game. Way too many missed tackles on Herbert, another 53 yards and penalties. And again, whenever we have 2 or more turnovers, we lose over every time. And we have 5 turnovers in this game. The last thing I wanted to note was I did not love that last play of the game. I really did not like that play call at all. However, Jalen said it's a play that they complete all the time, and it's a play they do really well on. However, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we've run it too much. Maybe it's just too predictable. Maybe, like I've been saying, these teams are studying us. We are a big deal for these teams. Maybe they know these plays that we're successful on. They have them in their heads because they seem like they were ready for that shit. So we gotta start, getting creative, like we've been saying. No, but I thought Patullo didn't. He is improving. I know it might not look and feel like that, but there is some improvement there. As we look to this Raiders game, I really don't want us to sleep on this team. They only have 2 victories this year, but the first one was against the Patriots, week 1, a long time ago, but it was against the Patriots, where Geno Smith threw for 362 yards. And I know it's a small sample size, but it does show the potential they have, especially when you also consider the fact that they ran for over 260 yards on Chicago, a team that we struggled against. So this is a lesson, or maybe not a lesson, but like a notice. Like, hey, put you guys on notice. This team only has 2 wins, but they can pop a little bit. And also, Max Crosby still has 9 sacks in the season. He's still a beast. They have some ability to pop, even though with 2 wins. We can't sleep on this team. Cannot sleep on this team. They're 31st in the league in 3rd down conversions and 26th in passing yards. So it should be a nice little test for us to beat this team in these areas. We should do better in 3rd down conversions, should be better in passing yards. We're both ranked in the bottom of the league. Let's beat them in those areas. Nice little starting point. Small goals, small goals, small goals. That's a good small goal to start with. The Raiders rank 20th in passing and 30th in rushing, 31st in scoring percentage, but the defense ranks 12th in the scoring percentage allowed. 32nd in rushing yards per attempt, and 5th in the opponent's rushing yards per attempt. So decent defense. Really good test for both units. We should be doing well against both these squads. 30th in points, 30th in yards, 31st in plays run, and so they should not, I repeat, they should not run more plays than us. They are 31st in plays run. This seems to be where we're struggling. This is a great test. The Raiders should not run more plays than us. Now, enough of the statistics. Let's get to some superstitions. Very superstitious. I, for the sake of this team, am announcing, and I know I've announced this before, and it hasn't been true, it hasn't been real, kind of like the Jay-Z retirement. That was supposed to happen like 20 years ago. I bet he drops an album next year. But this one is certain. I have been able to do this for the Eagles twice before, and it's led to 2 Super Bowls, and I will do it again this year. Starting tomorrow morning, not tonight because I already did today, and it's got to be a full day. Starting tomorrow morning, I, Zach Perry, one of the biggest fucking Eagles fans you will ever find, I am quitting weed for the sake of this team. Now, let me tell you why. Some people might go, what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything, Zach? Our offense doesn't look great. Jake Elliott's missing kicks. The Cowboys are at our heels. The Rams looking like they're going to be a threat. And if you get past all them, now look at the Chargers. What does weed have anything to do with it? Let me tell you. Because in 2017, when we played the Falcons, prior to playing the Falcons, I quit. That's when I quit. And I didn't stop again until we beat the Patriots. Or I didn't start again until we beat the Patriots. I can't even speak right because I'm so frantic about this idea. It's crazy. It's hard to do. It's not going to be easy. But I did it in 2017, prior to playing the Falcons. And I didn't start up again until after we beat the Patriots. We won every single game after I stopped. Then, last year, I stopped after we played the Rams. And what happened after that? We smoked the Commanders, and then we smoked the Chiefs. And then I went back to smoking. But, although it's not the playoffs yet, I think it's time for me to do this for my team, to set the spirit straight and get us at our best right now. I believe if I stop smoking tomorrow morning, from that point on, the Eagles will go like this till we win the Super Bowl. So that is how I'm helping the team. How are you helping? That's how I'm helping. What are you doing for the team? This is what I'm doing. I'm stopping smoking so we can win the Super Bowl. Say something about it. And all you teams out there, you better take notice. Because now it's game time. So in conclusion, I know all the sports experts out there are turning their backs on the Eagles and saying the Eagles have no chance. But everybody wants to be a sports expert. How many are there really? There aren't too many sports experts, let's be serious. They're not on TV. They're not writing for sports corporations. They're not doing any of that. Because if they were truly experts, they would be using those legal sports gambling services that they promote every week. And they'd be making millions of dollars instead of doing whatever they do. Instead of trying to get you worked up for likes and hits. Why would you, if you were a sports expert, think about this. Why on earth would you try and create clickbait ever? Why, if you were a true sports expert, why would you ever create a clickbait article when you could just say, I'm going to do this 14 parlay? You know? Does that really make sense? Isn't one much easier? And isn't one much cooler? Like, isn't it way cooler to be an expert who could predict every single outcome of the game rather than someone who's like, ooh, locker room drama. This quarterback's leadership might not be great. It's like, what? That has nothing to do with anything. Just fucking tune into the game. You know, we don't need the side reporting. Stick to the facts. Stick to the facts. There are very little sports experts. Very few sports experts out there. Very few. And if they were sports experts, they wouldn't be creating clickbait. They would be, watch their predictions. Look at people's predictions. People who are getting like 95% of their predictions right, those are sports experts. Those are like, yeah, that person's an expert. Someone who's like getting half of their predictions right and are just coming up with interesting talking points, those aren't sports experts. Those are just people who like drama. Those are just like they're like what podcasters are for sports. They're just entertainers. You know what I'm saying? They're just entertainers. They're trying to be entertaining. They're not sticking to the facts. They're not sticking to the facts while everyone turns their backs. Everyone turns their backs. Even Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester or Sylvester, I don't give a fuck. Wants his statue back. You heard about this? You read this? You heard about this? Even he wants his statue back. Take the fucking thing. Who gives a fuck? We don't need anybody's shit. This is Philly Eagles over everything. And Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. But he also says, be careful who you punch because they might start punching back.